Hello everyone, it is your boy, Mr. Tag! And today I'm doing something a little bit different. I swear I say that every time. And sometimes it's a lie. But today is not a lie. So today I'm going to be playing, going a practice run of Dungeon Duel Monsters. You might be thinking, well that sounds a bit boring, we won't actually get to see any duels. But I realized I made a video several months ago about my Dragon Age Yugi Origins campaign. And it was basically the beta version. It wasn't finished, but it's been finished for a while now. So I thought I'd actually do a proper run through. We'll do one line of the story. So, I mean, I bet spoilers ahead, but it's been out for a bit, and I'm not actually sure how many people that are going to be watching this are going to be like, oh my god, you've ruined the dwarf story for me now. I can't play this. I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm just going to get into it. I just want to quickly check something. Should be all good. All right. And we're going to jump in. So I'm going to hit this practice button right here. Bam. Going to be testing, so we're going to begin. I hope you guys can hear that. The intro music. Dragon Age Origins. That first screen. Amazing. I love it. I love being able to put that into the game. It's just like a wave of nostalgia just washes over me. It's great. Anyway, so first we have a choice. Now, when I first showed this off, we only had a story mode. Which, I think, having good content, you'd play it, a few times, go do all the story. You have to win to be able to get the endings, but play it a few times, do it a few times, get the endings, and you'd be like, okay, this is a bit boring now. But now we also have just a battle mode where it's not necessarily completely random, but you're not just going to be picking, I'm going to side with the dwarves, so I'm going to get like dwarves and golems and stuff. It's like, I could have dwarves with demons and the Dalish all together in one army. And there's another mode where it deletes the deck you've drafted in the last zone. You have to draft a completely new deck in the next zone. There's a mode for that as well. So really expansive, like it just says, recommended for experienced players. This one is obviously the story, recommended for first-time players, just because the decks, there are some points where you'll get like random cards, but the decks are mostly curated so there's synergies. You don't have to be like, oh no, I don't have this card, therefore my deck doesn't work. So we'll jump straight into that. And I'll go through the background. So, the Grey Warden did not survive Ostagar, so Alistair was forced to step up and lead as the only living Grey Warden in Ferelden. Despite not being a natural leader, he managed not only to unite the elves, dwarves, mages, and Arleman's forces against the Blight, he also toppled Loghain's regime and killed the Archdemon. However, being the only living Grey Warden meant that slaying the Archdemon was also the end of Alistair himself. Queen Honora ruled for a time, but contracted a rare, fatal disease and passed away. All possible heirs to the throne of Ferelden were either dead or missing. In this time of crisis, a new king or queen with no royal blood ties must take the throne. That's where you come in, dear player. You're a minor lord of the Benorn, thus in this situation you have a claim to the throne as much as anyone else does. You'll not be able to win the throne on merit alone. It will take campaigning, scheming, and even eliminating your opponents to succeed. Certain parties of Ferelden have a vested interest in having a king or queen that furthers their agenda. Will you accept their help? And if you do, what will it cost you? Ooh, intrigue already. Welcome to the campaign. It's a PvP campaign, and players will recruit armies and battle it out with their opponent to claim the throne of Ferelden. Seek help from the most unlikely sources or attempt to go it alone. The decision is yours. Blah, blah, blah. So basically saying it only has custom cards in it. So for those of you with Yu-Gi-Oh experience, there's not going to be any of those cards you're used to. Everything's a custom card that I had to make myself. Which is why this campaign took so long to bloody finish. But also, just the amount of work I put into this. I've made a few campaigns, which you can download and find as well. This is probably my favourite campaign that I've made. Just because of the theme and the amount of work I put into it. Alright, potential allies. Hey, look, it's you! You're a bold silhouette. That's totally me, right? I'm totally a bold silhouette. You've put your name forth as a potential candidate to the crown. You have ruled your lands as lord for many years, bringing food and good fortune to both yourself and those that call your lands home. For what your advisors have told you, your people have a high opinion of you also. So you're better to rule for Eldon than you. You know, who's better? Nobody better. You have a meeting scheduled with King Balin II, Vartag Gavorn, today. From a previous correspondence, the king was very interested in your campaign for the crown. While you are glad he has shown such an interest, you do wonder why he's focusing on Orzammar, considering there have been rumblings of a revolution that everyone has seemingly heard about. You are not left waiting long, as your advisor brings Vartag into your audience room. There he is, in all his I didn't cut this out glory. I'm not good at editing, guys. I'm not good at picture editing, okay? I can't do his voice either. I can't even remember what he sounds like. Ah, my lordship, the king and I humbly thank you for granting us an audience today. I know you are busy, so I'll keep this brief. As you know, the king is very interested in your campaign for the crown. I do not know if you are aware, but Balin himself fought a hard campaign to become king after his father returned to the stone. Yes. Balin knows the struggles you will face. That is why he wishes to help you take the crown, so that you do not have to go through what he did. You heard about how Alistair was the one who named Balin king. You're not sure just how much Balin actually had to do to secure the throne. In exchange for his support, all Balin asks is that you will aid him when you become the ruler of Ferelden. Oh, there he goes. See ya! You have a feeling this alliance may be more beneficial to Balin than you, but you don't let Vartag know that. You thank the dwarf and see him out. With no immediate plans for the rest of the day, you decide to relax for a few moments. Oh, that's nice, relaxing. What is that? You wander around the grounds, lost in thought, considering the offer made by King Balin. Your daydreaming leads you off the beaten path into a small, enshrouded area on the edge of your lands. You begin to head back, only to be coaxed back by a soft yet commanding voice. It's the Architect! Why wasn't he in Veilguard or any other subsequent games? You know, unless you killed him. Anyway. I can't do his voice either. You are the one who can save us. I shouldn't do voices. You turn to face the voice. The visage of that who stands before you causes you to recoil. You try to stand tall, but you cannot hide your fear. I know I am not what humans would call approachable, but please, I mean you no harm. I only wish to talk. You eye the creature up and down. He's not a being you are familiar with. He looks like he could rip you apart with merely a flick of his wrist, but he has not. You hear him out, only to placate him. I will not keep you long. I know you have your own path to the crown. All I ask is that you let me help you forge it. Give the creature a questioning look. Why does he want to help you? Ah, yes, you are wondering my motivations. Let me assure you they are just. In exchange for my help, you would aid me in introducing the Darkspawn into human society. The Darkspawn? Was he insane? Those mad creatures that almost took over Ferelden just over a year ago? Wait, was he a Darkspawn? Exclamation mark. I should have expected this. The blight is still very much in the minds of your kind. I can assure you that the Darkspawn are no longer savage. They no longer fear the call of the old gods to attack the surface. They no longer hear the call of the old gods to attack the surface. I will not pressure you into a decision that you don't agree with. All I ask is that you consider it. Should you want my help, come see me at the Silverite Mines tomorrow. Otherwise, good luck forging your path. See ya! You hastily make your way back to the castle, not sure of what to make of the Architect or his plans. Several hours pass since your encounter with the Architect. As day becomes night, you bid your last advisor adieu for the day and prepare to take yourself off to bed. That is, until a person you do not recognize welcomes themselves into your castle. Ah yes, Unknown Mage. I am a big fan. I'm not going to do a woman's voice. Pardon me, your lordship. I overheard in town that you were seeking to improve your station. I thought I could be of assistance. You do not know what to make of this woman. She has no official audience with you and has no lordly standing of her own. But there is something alluring about what she is saying. It's almost enchanting. I see my offer has not fallen on deaf ears. If you really like what I have to offer, perhaps we could make a deal. She extends her hand out to yours. Ooh. You feel unnaturally compelled to shake it, as if there's some supernatural force at play here. You glimpse at her face, wherein her devious snarl betrays her real intentions. But you cannot stop yourself. Until a loud bang is heard outside. The trance has been broken. You are yourself again. Maybe a relationship built on deceit was not the best approach. Let me show you who you are really dealing with. It's MA15 tits. Anyway. Now you see me for all that I am. Am I not desirable? Demon winks at you suggestively. You don't know whether to be flattered or frightened. I know all that you desire. You desire to rule this land. Such an admirable goal. I can help you, if you let me. All I ask in return is that I get to rule by your side. Nothing else. I will not manipulate you into making this decision. You sure about that? But if this is what you truly want, then it will be best interest to let me help you. And off, we just let a demon just leave. Yep, cool. Dwarves, Darkspawn, and now demons. Is this what it really takes to become king or queen of Ferelden? Yeah, I don't know if I want to be the king or queen yet. I haven't made that decision. Who will you side with? Okay. So, I mean, that part of the story does not change. That will always happen at the start. I guess now that you've seen it, you don't have to ever... You can just press skip. Not to see that ever again. I guess... And obviously this fourth option is trying to forge your own path, do it yourself. As it says, it's the hardest start in the game. Eventually, your deck does become really good and you can actually... You have a fighting chance, but, you know, round one, it's almost impossible to win. I've done testing. I've only ever won round one once. And that was because my opponent just had no cards they could play. They just kept drawing high-level monsters and couldn't summon any. So I was like, okay, boop, 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 boop. There's the hardest start in the game. I guess we'll do dwarves. Yeah, we'll go dwarves. Align with King Balin. Long may he reign. Look at all our cards that we get. Oh, we got some nugs. And some tame Brontos. More tame Brontos. I mean, yeah, this doesn't change. These will always be the same. So we'll add those to our trunk and keep going. Right, a royal welcome. And wait for it again. The song while you're in Orzammar. Again. It evokes feelings of nostalgia within me. I think I did just spend a lot of time just walking around Orzammar just listening to this. When I first played the game. Such a great, just a great backing tune, great theme. There I am again. I'm still bold. As you make your way to the entrance of Orzammar, you're cheerily greeted by a small collection of servants. They offer to escort you through Orzammar to show you the sights. Oh yes, there's a lava pit. There's a dwarf. I've seen it all. Can I go home now? After being paraded through the commons and shown around the Diamond Quarter, one of the servants informs you that Balin will not be able to meet with you today as he has important business to attend to. Wow. You feel a bit insulted, of course. The king knew you were coming. He even insisted on scheduling your meeting for today. The servant, sensing your frustration, asks that you forgive the king. As a token of forgiveness, the servant says Balin has sent Vartag to the assembly with a gift for you. Hey, great, Vartag again. Woohoo! You accept the apology from the servant and make your way into the assembly entrance where Vartag is awaiting your arrival. There he is again! We meet again, your lordship. I am sure the servants informed you that King Balin was unable to meet with you today. My apologies on his behalf. I don't know why I decided to do a voice, but I did. But the king is not one to leave powerful allies such as yourself hanging. He offers you more forces for your army or dwarven-made equipment to protect them in battle. He also has a gift, just for you. He was unsure of your tastes, so he sent me here with 3 different gifts. Pick the one that you think best represents what you stand for. Cool. So we get to pick an item here. So items work a bit differently than just cards, obviously. So essentially you can use an item at any time during your turn, assuming you have priority to do so. So for example, if we pick the shield, it says use a spell speed 1, target 1 monster you control. Until the end of the next turn, it gains 1,000 defense and cannot be destroyed by battle. And also it says I can use the item up to 2 times. So it can be in the same duel, it can be in 2 different duels, because there's at least 2. But if both players could go 1-1, you get to the final area, there's 3 duels. Oh, pardon me. There's these coins. So randomly select one card in your opponent's hand, add it to your hand. You can only use this item once per duel. So this is the exception. You can't use this obviously 2 times in the same duel, even though it says you can use this item up to 2 times. And the Thorn of the Dead Gods. Use spell speed 1, target 1 monster you control. When it destroys an opponent's monster by battle this turn, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's defense. We'll just pick Thorn of the Dead Gods. I mean, we're not actually doing duels because this is our practice mode. We're just going through the story at the moment. So, Army Booster. So, Army Boost, lovely. You can pick some Dwarven Arms to grant our army some powerful tools and weapons. We can get Dwarven Reserve to add more numbers to the army. I think we'll go Dwarven Reserves. I believe this is generally the better option. Yet, it's got 3 Tame Bronto, that's what you really want. Got some Deep Stalkers that the Dwarves have tamed, I guess. Do we have 3 of them? We do have 3 of them. That's pretty good. We've got the Matriarch too. Cool. And we've got... not Sandal. What's his dad's name? Shit. I forgot what his dad's name is. But he is now just Surface Dwarf. Oh, that's gonna... I'm gonna remember it like halfway through this and be like, oh yeah, that's his name. Of course. Of course. So... anyway. So, oops. Don't know why I've got my water bottle in my hand. Neutral parties for the army. So this is random, like I said. So this is working a bit weird. We could get some skeletons. Devouring skeleton. Just destroy a battle. Discard a card to pull summon this card from the graveyard. Get a dwarf mercenary, who you'll recognize as that guy who's in Redcliffe. Yeah. I'm just blanking on names today. Sorry, guys. I'm sure for those of you who played Dragon Age Origins will be like, that's this guy. How can you not remember this guy? You got Corrupted Spiders, you got a Knight. That is Sir Perth. I remember that. Now, we've got another Tame Bronto, but those who play Yu-Gi-Oh! Know you can only play up to 3 copies of a card in your deck, so there's no point picking it. So, I mean, just an example, I'd probably pick the Skeleton. The Spider is really good. And maybe the Mercenary, I guess. And then weapons and tools for the army. Got quite a few choices here. We've got Pressure Plate, which is probably one of the best traps in the game, because essentially you let you set a trap directly from your deck and use it this turn. So I mean, you'd probably pick that. We'd probably want also more equip spells, because I mean, while we've got the Warrior Dwarves, we've also got really weak ones, so we kind of want to be able to hit over our opponent's stuff at the moment, so we should pick some equip spells. And normally we could jump into a duel, because at the moment, since this is all the cards we've got, normally you just cut it down to 40, but we're not going to do that because obviously again we're just going through the story. Just show it off. Show it off. Yeah, my amazing writing skills. But I do want to highlight some cards which I think are really thematically really good, like the Banish to the Deep Roads. When this card is activated, target 1 monster your opponent controls. Banish it. But when this card leaves the field, return the monster banished by this card to the field. So you get banished, but then you can come back. But probably my favourite card. There's another one that Darkspawn get, which is really, really good. But I think Tapster's Tavern is really good. Just tooting my own horn here, guys. Like, oh my god, I'm such a good card designer. Konami should freaking hire me. And yeah, I can't do art either, so I don't know why they'd hire me. So when this card is activated, you can add 1 dwarf monster from your deck to your hand. If a monster or monsters on the field will be destroyed by card effect, they are not destroyed. The player that controls the least amount of dwarf monsters must pay 500 life points to declare an attack. You only have 1 taps as tavern per turn. When you have 1, so that's fine. So, it searches a dwarf. So, I mean, there's lots of dwarfs in a tavern. So, you search one. So, essentially, fights shouldn't break out in the tavern. They get stopped, so can't be destroyed by card effects. And the player that controls leaf dwarves has to pay the bar tab. So, he's paying 500 life points. I think that was pretty good. Anyway, we'll stop worrying about that now. We'll go into the duel. Now, for those of you that did watch the beta video, it's going to look a bit different. It's been updated a bit. So, I mean, I've already drawn cards, which is what didn't happen in the beta, although the beta was a developer's build, so I think so. As you can see, there's hotkeys now. So if I want to summon this spider, I just press A, I can summon it, and if I use its effect with E, it lights up like that. which is pretty cool. And then if we jump in, so field spells will activate and do that. I believe if you don't have, because I've got the background from the title screen on here, from memory, if say that wasn't there, so I mean it's not going to apply to this game, if that wasn't there, the Tapster's Tavern picture would actually appear on the background, which is pretty cool. But yeah, since we can't actually do a duel, we'll just can see. Oh, actually, there's probably one thing I do want to show. So look at this. So you know how it says lose 500 life points because of Tapster's Tavern? There's a hotkey for it. And same with equip spells. Like, I can't equip that to that. Let's just say this is a warrior that I want in here to change the attack defense. There's a hotkey for it. And then when it falls off, you can do that. I think that's a really neat feature that was added by Mika to the Dungeon Duel Monsters. Just recognises certain keywords and applies it for you, despite all of these cards being custom made. Anyways, we'll... don't know why it says lose 500 life points. Oh yeah, this also has a 500 life point cost. I forgot about that. That's great. I love it. We'll meet defeat. So to get to the finals, we'll go, I'll win this one. All right, here's the second area. So this wasn't finished by the beta. I just had, like, these were here. There wasn't a story thing here. These actually have stories equipped to them. And then we can keep going. So another day in Orzammar. There's our bold ass again right there. Orzammars were attacked last night by unknown assailants. Some called themselves revolutionists, others seem to be targeting you specifically, your army, along with the dwarf guards, for this attack off, but not without casualties. This brutal assault has reminded you just how savage the fight for the throne could be. You take a moment to remember those lost in the battle. You let the dwarves take care of funeral preparations as you're not familiar with dwarven customs. One of the servants comes up to you. They seem to be ignorant of the events that transpired last night, judging by their demeanour. They tell you that Balin will be able to meet with you in the afternoon. And until then, you are permitted to free passage through Orzammar without an escort. Oh, that's nice. Considering the events of last night, you might take a personal entourage with you. The servant mentions that there's a proving today if combat is something you like to watch. Otherwise, there's some great stalls in the Diamond Quarter today that might pique your interest. Thank the servant for their help and head out. So now we can go watch that proving. We can go to the Diamond Quarter stalls. For this run, we'll go to the Diamond Quarter stalls. There we are again. Just keep popping up everywhere. You decide to check out the upmarket stalls in the Diamond Quarter. While you catch a glimpse of some lovely silks and clothes you might like, you know you need to give your army an edge just in case your enemies attack again. You'll eventually come across a stall selling rare weapons. The merchant dwarf reassures you of the quality of his wares. Which weapon will you purchase? So you get to pick one of these. So we have the bloodline. That's a mace, isn't it? Yeah. So this one does. So the equipped monster cannot be targeted by monster effects or monsters with a lower level than it. If the equipped monster battles an insect monster, destroy that monster at start the damage step. I believe that's as a reference to what bloodline does in game. Ageless. The equipped monster cannot be destroyed by battle with a dragon monster. If the equipped monster battles a darkspawn monster, gains 700 attack during the damage step only. And Shield of the Legion can only be equipped to an Earth Warrior monster. The equipped monster gains 1,000 defense. If this equipped card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Earth Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. I mean, see, these are very specific. Like if your opponent's playing like sided with the Architect, you probably pick this. Insects only come into it if the person playing makes a certain decision in the demon line, unless there's someone drafted a corrupted spider, which is a really annoying monster to deal with. And the shield will just work. And then you get to search if it gets sent to the graveyard, so we'll pick that. All right, strengthening our allegiances. There's King Balin! And he takes up the whole screen with his big fat head. It is good to finally meet you, your lordship. I have been busy attending to other matters. But let us put that aside and instead talk about our alliance. I can't do King Balin's. I can't do any voices, okay? I'm not doing accents either. I heard of the attack in the Commons last night. Absolutely cowardly. How dare someone make a strike against the heart of the Dwarven Empire? I know you suffered losses in that attack. To make sure that such a thing does not happen again, I will be giving you access to the strongest soldiers the dwarves have to offer. course, with recent happenings being what they are, I can't allow you to take all of these soldiers. Dissidents have made attempts on my life too, and I will need to show them what happens to those who dare go against their king. The golems are quite possibly the strongest force in the entirety of Thedas, great hulking beasts of stone and steel that can crush any opponent with their bare hands. The Legion of the Dead are a tenacious group. They make their home in the deep roads and take the fight directly to the Darkspawn to keep Orzammar safe. Their leader, Cardol, is one of the hardiest dwarves I have ever encountered, and he has agreed to join your cause should you want their aid. Alright, so we need that. Golems or Legion of the Dead. Admittedly, golems have probably been a balance a bit too hard to make them playable. The Legion of the Dead are actually pretty good. So let's do that. Here's all the cards we get. We get Sigrun as well, which is a ridiculous card. So we can search, does piercing, and then we'll destroy a card as destroy by battle. And then if you search Bonamar, you can essentially, so you've added that, you search this, and you can add 2 Legion cards off that as well, which is a silly combo. Anyway, add those over to trunk, then we duel again. We would update our deck, so we probably don't play like these, we're going to play like one of these, none of these, blah, 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 and then we'd add all the Legion stuff, blah, blah. Like it's, I know, it doesn't really matter. Blah, 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 blah. Cool. That's our deck. It's time to duel. So we will lose this one just so we can get to the final area. Cool. Alright, we concede. So lose. Oh no, this is the area before the final area. A meeting with Haramont. What do you mean? It is I, Baldhead. After your second attempt on your life, you decided it would be a good idea to leave Orzammar and instead head for Denerim. Even though Landsmeet had not been called yet, you feel you will be safer in Ferelden's capital. As the journey will be a long one, you decide to stay in Lothering for a short spell. While the place is still being rebuilt after the Darkspawn destroyed it during the last Blight, they are welcoming visitors and allowing them to stay in the Chantry or the new inn. You make your way to the inn. While you haven't decided if this is where you would like to make your lodgings for the night, you feel like it will be quieter than the Chantry. You ponder the situation you find yourself in. Are you being targeted for your alliance with Balin, or are your opponents so unsure of themselves that they must eliminate all other threats to their opportunity to the throne? Deep in thought, you initially do not notice 3 dwarves making their way toward you until they're basically in front of you. They do not bear the heraldry of King Balin or a noble house you are familiar with. Just who are they? It's Renville, you Dragon Age 2 looking ass. So, you are the one who allies with Balin to take down the revolution in Orzammar. I did not expect a human to get involved in dwarven politics. But after that Grey Warden crowned Balin in the first place, I shouldn't be surprised. Your alliance with Balin was never about squashing a revolution. At least as far as you know. What is this dwarf implying? You seem bewildered by my choice of words. Is your alliance not politically fueled? Why else would you publicly side with a tyrant? Unless you do not know, my apologies. I am Renville Haramont, last surviving member of House Haramont. When Balin took the throne, he immediately ordered my family's execution. I was the only one able to escape. Now he seems to be forming an alliance with you to help him stop the revolution against him. If this is news to you, may I ask you a bold question? Quickly peer around to make sure no one who could be working with Balin is within earshot. If you don't intend on helping Renville, you do want to hear him out. It takes real guts to approach a known ally of someone who murdered your entire family. I would ask if you would instead join the revolution, join my side against Balin. I can't take him down alone, and the revolution is too disorganized to make any real change. With you commanding the troops, I think we might have a chance. I don't know why I decided to do a voice, but I did. If you don't wish to join me, then all I ask is that you let me leave here in peace. Betraying Balin does seem like a risky move. After all, if he is as bad as Renville says he is, then will he not come after you next? Just how bad could it turn out for you if you betray your greatest ally now? So then we get the option, do not betray Balin, or we betray Balin. I think for the sake of simplicity, we won't betray him. Renville was unable to sway you away from Balin's side. Now we're in the final area. So the final day. Well, this is it. All of your decisions, good or bad, have led to this day. More allies have made their way to the city. Some are just here to enjoy the festivities, while others will be glad to join your side should violence break out. Considering how the past few weeks have gone, you're glad your more aggressive clientele have made their presence known. You make your way through the markets and to the castle proper. Should you not be crowned, at least you know you made it this far. The support of your friends and allies has meant everything to you. As you make your way through the castle gates, you're greeted by individuals who make it known that they wish to join your campaign, should you want them. Well, our last set of allies couldn't hurt. So we have Brother Genitivi Studies, which is pretty generic. I think everyone gets this choice, or you get a more personalised choice with whoever you side with. So Forgotten Relics and Warriors, we'll do that. So we've got, remember, Jarek and Brogan from Golems of Amgarak. Oh look, welcome to Amgarak. If you pick Golems, you do get a Harvester. You just get Harvester access as well, which is scary to think about if you know the lore. Well, the card uses to us anyway. We made Sten just a generic Quinari mercenary, but he's also pretty strong. We get a third Silent Sister. We can get Ruck if our opponent was on Darkspawns, we'd pre-draft him. Get Reaper's Cudgel, which is actually pretty strong. Gain 800. If you don't destroy the opponent's monster by battle, your opponent's monster gets bounced anyway. And then you can send it to the graveyard to gain 2,000, which is, selling it for lots of money. And for a laugh, I put a Forgotten Disciple of Andraste in here. Look at him just standing there all chunky. We get to pick 5, so we'd probably pick Brogan and Jarek and Sten. Reaper's Cudgel and maybe the third Silent Sister. And then we go into the final battle. And now we have to say we win this one, so we get the final slide, otherwise we die. Oh, what a hand, right? Concede, amid defeat. We just use a win. Final slide. With the help of King Balin, you are able to claim Ferelden's throne. Not even a week passes before Balin is calling for your aid against the revolution in Orzammar. Renville knew it. He was right. Knowing of the promise you made when you forged the alliance, you send troops into Orzammar to help squash the revolution in just a few short days. Balin praises you as a hero, but to those you fought against, you are branded a tyrant. This reputation follows you for your entire rule. Anytime you visit Orzammar, it is done under heavy escort. So that's one of the better endings, funnily enough. You can probably imagine siding with the demon's not very smart. And there are, if you betray the architect, it's either the demon ending or betraying the architect are the two worst endings you can get. I'm trying to think if this is like the best ending, actually. Or the second best ending. Anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Just a little go through the story, listening to my really bad voice acting and reading skills. But yeah, if you want to download this yourself, I'll have the download link for Dungeon Duel Monsters in the description. And then you just have to go to the Dungeon Duel Monsters Discord and download the campaign. And that's it from me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, as I rarely remember to say. And I will see you guys in the next video.